Debbie, and this is another companion video to my book, The Land of Five Waters. And today I'm going to show you how to roll a pratha, which is a pan-fried flatbread. And there's 3 different ways to do it. So the first way is take a golf ball size round from your dough, make it nice and round, and then dip it in your reserved flour. This is just some dry flour. And then start forming it into a round with your hands. Okay. Dip it again in the flour and then start rolling it out on your board or counter about half the size that you want it to be. Okay, and then this one is called a plain pratha, and you just take a little bit of oil. Today I'm using coconut oil. You can take butter or clarified butter, and you spread it on your round and then roll it up into a nice neat package. Okay, so you're basically creating layers in the dough, and you could actually repeat the whole process and do it a second time if you really want it to be rich. So flour it again and then just start rolling it out as thin as you can get it, but not too thin. And you'll see when you eat it that it'll be kind of nice thick layers. Shake off some of the excess and then come over here to your griddle. This is an Indian style griddle pan called a tava, and you're going to want to have it on medium-high heat, and you're going to cook partially on one side, flip it, cook it partially on the other side, and when it starts darkening, then you know it's kind of cooking. And you're going to flip it. I use my fingers, but you can use tongs. Okay, and then you're going to want to flip it about 2 or 3 times. I'm going to grab my tongs. Okay, so since it's partially cooked on one side, take a little bit of your oil, and I'm using coconut oil. It's supposed to be healthier for you. It'll start puffing up a little bit. Just make sure it's partially cooked on the other side before you flip it again. And then now you're frying it. Now it's going to become pan fried. Okay, spread a little more oil on the other side. And at this point you're just trying to brown it and get it nice and crisp. So that might take another, 30 seconds. And that's how you make a plain pratha. Okay, so continuing on with how to make pan-fried flatbread, I'm going to show you how to make the vegetable stuff. Here we have the final product of the plain one, which just has oil inside. You can also put salt, chilies, some seeds for flavoring, but I just made a plain one. So again, I'm going to take a golf ball size piece of the dough, and the recipe is in the cookbook. And I'm going to dip it in the reserved flour and make around half the size, or less than half the size that I want it to be. So I'm going to stuff it with vegetables. Okay, so just flatten it out a little bit. And then today I'm just going to take some leftover potatoes and peas, and I'm going to just stuff it. So I'm going to take the sides of the pratha and wrap it around the filling and pinch it at the top. So you have kind of a nice little round package. And I'm going to try to flatten it out a little bit with my hands. And since potatoes are sort of a dry filling, it should be easier to roll it out this way. But it's fine if the filling comes out of the sides or out of the top. It just makes it taste better when you fry it. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to get the edges nice and thin so that when you eat it, it's not real thick and gooey. Okay, so there might be some holes, and that's fine. Get it onto your griddle pan. And then again, you're going to want to just partially fry it, cook it on one side, flip it, partially cook it on the other side, and then start pan frying it.